Hello, everybody. This is the Rob and Noddy Show. #1! And of course, Halloween special. And beginnings, I guess. Of course, I'm Rob himself. And my lovely co-host.
Noddy Osborne.
You lovely Noddy. God, you're looking a bit strange tonight, aren't you, love? What have you been up to?
Well, just drinking my wine and it turned me this color.
Mucus colour. I thought it was more bloody than mucus. Maybe bloody mucus.
Bloody mucus.
Yeah.
I got some of that too.
I bet you do, but we ain't going further into that one.
Uh-oh, pink hand.
Of course, I'm drinking a vodka and coke. Nothing too spooky about that, but just wait till I'm like in half an hour.
Oh, it's spooky. Just you wait. It'll be spooky when you get drunk enough.
Of course, tonight we're going to start talking about Halloween stuff. It's like our beginnings of so things what I loved about Halloween. So, #1 on the agenda, which is, of course, Noddy, or Noddy as we shall call her. First of all, what inspires you to dress up as a blue horny she-devil?
Well, usually I dress up as something vampire-y. This is the first year I got horns. I've had these wings forever. Had this bat for a while. And I just thought I'd go and change my skin color up to match the horns for one, and yeah.
So you're a naughty devil with those freckles?
I don't know why. I added those for dimension purposes. I tried to make this look as like skin colory as possible instead of just one-dimensional. So.
And of course, you even went further. Check out them bloody eyes. Freaky or what? Woo! God, my eyes look like that, but usually in the mornings after a few drinks. Or in my liver's failing. Go on, give us one big close-up with the eyes there, mad.
Oh my. Go to see a doctor.
Yeah, I think your liver's failing.
Yeah, I think you'll have a lineup and everyone's sick, all those kids eating too much candy. Speaking of candy, chocolate-covered marshmallows. The best part of Halloween is candy.
Well, giving it away or receiving it?
Depends. Giving it away is fun. But eating it?
Go on, be honest. Every time you give away candy on Halloween, if you ever, I bet it was all the crap what you didn't like eating yourself, wasn't it?
One thing I don't do is give too many of these away, but you don't understand the fucking wonders of wreaths. I don't understand this man, folks.
I've been over Canada and I've had your Reese buttercups or whatever they're called. I just don't see the why you like them so much. Don't get me wrong, and they're not horrible or anything like that. They're all right, but I just don't understand the American, of course, Canadian obsession with them.
Well, according to Facebook friends, it's a mixed bag. Not everyone gets it.
Of course, and talking about the difference between like UK and Canada, it's like Halloween over in the UK for me, it's always seemed to be all about the kids, especially like in the early 90s and so on. It's like, of course, you get your little kiddies trick-or-treating, cute little buggers as they are, and that's great. But to us, it's like, it was never really much of an adult thing. It was basically just something for the kids. What was it like over there in Canada?
Chocolatey. Well, Halloween is usually known for kids. In Vancouver here, though, there's something called Fright Night. And adults dress up. And that's just, a few days before Halloween, or if Halloween actually falls on a Saturday or a Friday, then it's all go. Like, both kids and adults can join in on the fun, but, of course, separately, because one involves booze and the other doesn't. But, yeah, it's a mixed bag, depending where you are in Canada. But I think it is more accepted, perhaps, as also an adult thing here in Canada. I'm not sure. I'm just one of those people who partake, and I don't care. I'm a kid at heart, or am I a adult? I have an inner adult.
I think you're a kiddie adult. Plus, I think it might be a city thing myself. Because I do live in a town, so in the big city of Manchester, I suppose you'd be having a lot more Halloweeny stuff there and more fun. But closest thing I've seen of adults taking part in Halloween is usually on the weekends when we're all in the pubs. Of course, you'll see people dressed up, and of course, we'll also be doing charity work, walking around with a little lantern like, put your coins in here, and it'll go to some charity or beer fund, who knows. But it's like in, Vancouver, it looks like a fun city, so I bet there's lots of mad stuff going on around there. Oh no, I think she's frozen. And we're back, and we definitely got a show now. You can never have a show without technical glitches. And we just had our first on the first show. It's for the books, innit, love?
I'm having technical difficulties.
Oh, sorry about that. Carry on.
No, I just said I'm having technical difficulties.
Yeah, we need to change the batteries later.
No comment.
Before we got disconnected, the last question I was asking was, what's it like in Vancouver on Halloween, really? Like for adults, fun stuff.
Well, like again, it depends on if it falls on a Saturday or not. But adults do celebrate it. It's called Fright Nights, I believe, and people dress up kind of like this or even more insane and spooky stuff. I think there's a certain area downtown where they hang out and do it, whereas, kids trick-or-treating, they do it in their neighborhood, so it's, yeah.
Kind of curious, though. Does everyone else look as hot as you? Dressed up. Isn't she cute?
No comment.
Of course, flipping a coin of trick-or-treating. Of course, I mentioned this before, you get your cute little kids. That's great, you want to give them candy and stuff, but of course the dark side of Halloween, the teenagers. Like over here, you'll get like about 6 people show up. One of them might have a mask on, which is like a clown or bloody Frankenstein's monster. And they'll be like, trick or treat, I'll take credit card. Stamps, cold hard cash. I've even got a credit card machine here. Have a look.
Shut up, they don't say that.
They don't go that far, but it's not far off. It's just bloody kids looking for beer money, the cheeky bastards. Of course, we're talking about trick-or-treating, so what about the tricks what people do? I think ones what we've had done was, of course, you get the egg in and then toilet paper. But I remember like this one group of lads, they kept going back and back and back and back, and my mum was getting sick to death of them. But the nice thing about it, though, the house was living in, there was a window right in front of the front door at the top. So she went to the bathroom, filled a jug full of cold water, and when they came back on, open window, whoosh, straight on the fucking heads. It was great.
Nice.
Yeah, it was great. It was just like they tried doing nasty little things. Like there was like near the front door of my old house where I used to live. There was, of course, you get your trees and your lampposts, so it's like they get bloody like string, like tie it low, like a tripwire. Nasty little buggers they were. How about you? What are you like with the tricksters?
Actually, interestingly, you bring that up because I just recently learned that on Halloween, you think everyone, Canada, everyone's so nice, eh? Actually, in Canada, the crime rate goes up a lot on Halloween, like huge.
I bet it does, little bastards.
I think it goes up like, the figures I forget, it was just too much though. I thought like 38 or like 60 something, I don't know, I forget exactly what, but I was just like, wow. I had never experienced anything. I don't know what they mean by crime either, because crime can be anything from, punching someone in the face.
Remember, kids, candy doesn't pay.
Froshing. throwing shit, or, vandalism. What does crime mean? It sounds like, oh my God, someone got shot. I don't know.
Only thing what people got shot with around here at the time during the last couple of years. It's like since it's October, that's when all the fireworks go on sale over here. And what them little shits will do, they'll literally buy rockets and fire them through people's letterboxes. So how fucked up can you get? I think at one point someone's house actually set on fire because of that. And once someone fired a rocket at an elderly old lady, which is bullshit.
Wow.
Yeah, some little
There's
shit.
firecrackers and muck around here, but people seem to be safe about it. But then again, I don't hear anything about that. There's probably cases like that too.
Yeah, during the 90s, you had to be 16 to buy fireworks. Now they bumped it up to 18. Now they're after bumping it up to 20. Keep the kids away from them, pretty much.
Oh yeah, that'll work.
And talking about all the Halloweeny stuff, about being an adult dressing up for the first time and stuff like that. Well, myself personally, I've only dressed up actually a few times. I've dressed up once or twice as a kid, because we used to get invited to this cafe where they had this nice little Halloween party. And at the time, me and my brother, who was only about 7 or 8 or something like that, was really into this TV show called Count Duckula. It was basically a rip-off from Dracula, apart from this was about a vegetarian duck, because it was all bloody animals, the characters in it. So when he was getting resurrected into a vampire, they were supposed to put blood into his coffin or something, but instead they mixed it up with ketchup. So he came back as a vegetarian who loved eating broccoli. That's a bit different. And the first time I actually dressed up as an adult was when I was working at this supermarket called Quicksave. I thought, like, what costume can I use for this, which would be great for me. At the time, I was into the Scream movie, so I thought I'd go as Ghostface. I thought, buying a mask is simple enough. It's nice and cheap, of course. Then I thought, shit, I need the rest of it. The actual clothing, the big dark sheet or whatever they wear. So my mum says, why don't you just use a bed sheet and dye it black? And I thought, yeah, that would work. So I got this big sheet. My mum helped me sew it into the costume, and then we tried dyeing it. Apart from, it didn't come out black. It came out more like stony grey. It looks like a pair of fucking jeans. And so, well, the thing what I didn't put into mind was like I'd be at work wearing this costume for 8 hours, and I'm plus wearing a mask with glasses on, which is never a good idea. So I put this mask on, it was squishing my glasses against my face and steaming them up so I couldn't see a damn thing. And all whatever happened was I was just getting funny looks off people. But the one person that he'd managed to scare must have been like this little child who was about 2 or 3 or 4. Very young child. Came walking up, we holding his mummy's hand. 2, 1 look at me and went, and his mum's going, shh. And I took the mask off so I won't scare the kid anymore. And then he went, and then I just walked away in shame. I scared a child, so I'm scared now. How about you, love? Have you been scaring any kids?
I never got to scare kids. Kids don't get scared by me. I tried scaring them when I was little by hiding behind stuff and while shopping with my mother, trying to make evil faces. They would just look at me either like this, like, oh, or they'd actually, like, I remember giving a baby, like, my meanest look, and the baby was looking at me through the car window, and then she's like, ah, I'm like, oh, bail. No, I don't scare kids. They love me too much.
Why, you big anti-Noddy?
Not by choice.
Ooh.
No,
God,
I
you're a
do love
cheeky one,
kids.
you, aren't you?
I don't have kids, but I do love them, actually. They're pretty cool. They're probably the cooler part of the population.
So, out of curiosity, what's like Halloween night now for you, like, with TV-wise? It's like over here during the 90s, it was pretty good. It's like you'll have lots of like horror movies, shows made for TV. And one of my favourites was called Ghost Watch. You can actually see this on YouTube now. Just do Google search or YouTube search for Ghostwatch, and it's this old BBC documentary slash it's excuse me, getting a bit of wind there. Ooh, that's great. Basically, it's a documentary about this family who's been haunted by this ghost. Of course, it's all fake. So I remember when it was broadcast, I was only about 7 or 8 or 9 at the time when it was on. And it scared the living shit out of me. And a shitload of people across the country as well. You can even see the story about it on YouTube as well, where it tells you about the impact or what happened when it had the show on. It's like in the beginning of the show, they said this is just a play. In the TV listings, they said it was a play, basically. They made it well aware that this thing wasn't real. But, of course, a lot of people just tuned in. And, of course, lots of people thought it was real. And for all the geeks watching this, it even had Craig Charles in it, who plays Lister from Red Dwarf. So that's fun seeing him as a bloody news guy in it. I'd totally recommend watching it. It's corny as fuck now watching it, but it was a fun show. It's kind of like an early, like, what's them bloody haunted shows now? You know, like Most Haunted and Ghost, whatever. You know, like
Paranormal State, stuff like that.
Yeah, pretty much your paranormal shows that you get now, where there's like where they're everywhere. And after
They're like
that night,
Ghostbusters, but real.
yeah, pretty much due to that show, after that night, we've never had a Halloween like that again because they totally banned it. Because people scared shit themselves. People's complaining that it scared the kids, even though it was showing at like 9 o'clock at night. And of course, I think some old lady died from watching it because she was that scared, which is kind of sad.
Wow. Well, that reminds me, it's like...
It was a great Halloween night, but it was pretty much the night what destroyed all Halloween TV in the UK. So it's never been as good since that night. Never. And I was like during like 92 or 93. So how about you? As I was saying, what's your Halloween TV like usually? Anything special?
Movies. Beetlejuice. All month they have stuff I don't have cable now. I don't have TV. But I know that it's pretty predictable. Although it has changed, I think, a little bit. It's not as many kid shows or... Like when I was a kid, I guess, I don't know. Kids are out trick-or-treating. But the standard Halloween, Mike Myers and Beetlejuice and all those... even spookier things are run all the time, and Halloween, well, I didn't watch TV tonight because I can't, so I can't really tell you.
Talking about Halloween movies and so on, like, you got 3 characters from the movies. Imagine if this turned into a film. We've had a quick look at it where like Freddy versus Jason. Well, what if they did Freddy versus Jason 2 with Ash from The Evil Dead? It's a chainsaw hand. Wouldn't that be fucking epic? She wants it, I can tell. She wants it. Don't you want it?
Oh, yeah, baby. I want that.
Baby. Hail to the king, baby.
I think it would be even better with Jaws. Dun, 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 and then he comes on land, and he comes out as Sharktopus. Oh, my God, that movie was terrible.
Sharktopus. Oh, God. I actually watched that. That was so fucking corny, but funny. Talking of films, though, it's like Evil Dead. They're actually remaking it. There's a trailer out now, like new cast and stuff. But I don't know how it's going to work, because, most remakes end up like sucking balls, so... And plus, you need, bloody, what's his name? Bloody Campbell in it, don't you? The original Ash, you need him in it. Well, it's just not the same. Actually, if you could think of one person to, like, play Ash in that remake, I would have picked Xander from Buffy, because I think he's the dead ringer for the guy,
Yeah, actually, you're right. He would do great for that, I think.
Well, I don't know much about the remake. Hopefully he's in there, because I'd like him as a bloody Ash anyway. I think he'd be brilliant.
He would be great. He has the same look, kind of, in a way.
Yeah. He does, and plus I think he can, like, pull off the mad faces and cheeky charm and so on.
I wonder... Yeah, he could do it better, though. I don't know. What's his name? He was in Buried. He was Green Lantern.
Oh yeah, right. I know who you mean, but no, I can't think of his bloody name. That's how good he is. Yeah, I don't mind him though. This is a part where everyone's going to be typing in YouTube in comments. His fucking name is blah blah blah. I'm telling you, it's the worst thing about doing a live show. You should get the memory farts where you can't remember fucking names.
Damn it. And it's on the tip of my tongue.
Well, moving on. I'm sure we all know what we're talking about. So,
Yeah.
so the reason why I thought like the Xander guy would have been great for him. It's like in Buffy, he always played like the funny coward, didn't he? So, and that was the same as Ash in the Evil Dead films. Because he wasn't much of an action hero. He's basically, if anything was going wrong, he'd be running straight out the fucking door, you know. That's why I always liked them films and why he was such a fun hero. So, well, anti-hero or whatever he was. But anyways, we're getting close to around 21 minutes now. This has gone a lot longer than I thought it would.
No, but one props to Xander. He kicked ass near the end there with Willow.
Oh yeah,
he stood in the fire. So he's not a
Everyone loves a bit of Buffy.
No one else could face Willow except him.
I know. Can you imagine an alternative version where he went, Willow, I love you, and she's like, fuck off, and his head goes, poof.
Yeah.
Actually, what could be worse than being skinned alive?
Ooh, yeah, that poor, not really poor bastard.
Oh, bastard. Well, he deserved it, didn't he, so?
Yeah, he did. He did. Even though he shot the girlfriend by accident, he still shot Buffy.
He was still firing at someone. He just hit her by mistake, but either way, he's got to die.
He's gonna die.
He's gonna die. Puka.
Oh, you got it.
Oops. Shot you in a boobie.
You monster.
I know I am. It's the way I am.
Scorpio rage. Danger, danger.
Danger, danger. I think the show's coming to the end, love, so... God, this has been fun, though. I'll tell the truth. It's like, before we did this show, we've done quite a few test months. We were thinking of, like, making this like a weekly show. Where we'll just talk about little things for about 10, 15 minutes or so, and it depends how well we go and how chested we are, really. But hopefully people who are watching this, if you like it, give us a thumbs up on YouTube. Leave us comments if you want to say something. But if it's crap, pretend you never saw it, please. I don't want to say we're shit, because I'll cry. And of course, I'm Rob himself.
If they don't like it, they can say so. That's the wonder of opinions. And they're going to hate it. We're going to be hated. We're hated. Everyone hates us.
And of course, I'm Rob himself, and my beautiful co-host,
Noddy Osborne.
Of course, if no one noticed it, we've actually got a third co-host. Right behind Noddy, the Chin Chin.
That's my little body. He is asleep.
Yeah, but out of three of us, I reckon he's the best co-host anyway, so...
He's the best looking.
Yeah, he's the main man. Everyone loves a furry, so...
Fudger, fudger.
Yeah. And goodbye, everyone. And hopefully see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.